Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be washing little Miss Nova's hair. So y'all know mom life, gotta make sure those babies, their hair is washed. Now the products that I'm using that old school mane and tail. This is what my grandma used on my hair. Comment below some of the shampoos your parents used on your hair back in the day, but mane and tail was always the one my grandma used, and I think it was because it was so cheap back then and it come with a lot, and it was a lot of us girls and she had to wash all of our hair. It used to be me and like 4 or 5 of my other cousins every summer, so grandma had to get the big bottles. So that's what I'm using. And shout out to the dads that assist. Nova is still getting used to her hair being washed, so of course she can be a little whiny and cry, but I would say this is the first time since I've been washing her hair that she did not cry, even with Ray Sean holding her, because normally she'll still cry with him holding her. But shout out to the dads that are there every step of the way. I really appreciate my husband because he really be doing his big one when it comes to Nova. He's just an amazing dad. I really appreciate him. So we over here getting Miss Nova together. Of course, we had to have the tablet because the tablet have to be a distraction. But let's get through this hair part. Alright, so now that we're done washing her hair, now it's time for me to start combing it out and detangling it. So I try to put them in 2 separate ponytails and just use a wide tooth comb to just take my time and just comb through every section of the hair, so that way she won't be crying when I start to blow dry it. And I also use this time to grease her scalp. Some people don't use grease on their kids' hair. Some people use like, um, pink lotion or any type of like anything that's like a lotion, but I like to use both on Nova's hair because her hair suck up grease so much, so I have to make sure it's like overly saturated with moisture. But we use the old school. I use the Blue Magic on her. I also use Dax. If you ever heard of Dax grease, yeah, we use the green one. And I use jam if I want to have her hair have a little hold to it when I do like the pigtails and stuff like that. So that's the hair products that I use on Nova. It's very simple. I treat her hair like grown people hair because it is grown people hair at this point. It ain't baby hair no more. So her hair has to have really good treatment. So that's what I'm doing, preparing to blow dry. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So just watch me do this. Now my baby, she not really big on the blow dryer. Again, her dad has to sit here and with her to make sure she okay. As you can tell by her face, she looking like, mama, I don't like this. So had my back hurting trying to bend over. These kids do not stay still. But she did so good. Like I said, I want to give her a 10 because she did so good. Rayshawn was giving her a thumbs up to encourage her, to let her know she's being a good girl for mommy. So I'm just blow dry it. Now I don't blow dry her hair with the heat completely on. I do a low blow dry, and the air is still pretty cool. I just try to do it to make sure I get all the knots out. again, because these kids don't like to get their hair done if there's any knots in there, so it's easier to part. My mom, she does like the braiding for Nova hair, so it's just easier for my mom to braid her hair later on. So again, you do what you want to with your kids' hair. It's your child. You know, everybody got something to say about what you should do and what you shouldn't do, but this is what I do. Okay. And y'all, at this point, Nova was just over me. So after I blow dried it, she wanted her dad to put it in a ponytail. So he did the best he could do. Sorry that his arm was in the camera, y'all. You know, it's hard to record sometimes. But he was just trying to comb it out and make sure all the kinks was out. And then he put the little ponytail holder there. But I hope y'all like this video. If y'all want more videos like this with us doing stuff with Nova, preparing her for things, let us know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.